Hello everybody, my name is Hassan Dumbuya. Today I'm going to talk about motivation. In my aims and objective is for people to understand what is motivation and explain the types of motivations and explain how to motivate your teams and outline how to motivate your team. Before proceeding forward, I would like to define motivation in various aspects. Motivation is the desire and a willingness to do something. That was defined by Panda in 2004. Another school of thought says that motivation is the force that energizes the behavior and give direction to behavior and underlining the tendency to persist. That was defined by Manti in 1998. Another definition, getting people to know what they want to do at a particular time. That was defined by Johnson. According to my own definition in Backbone Secrets, my book, motivation is the desire and confidence and encouragement and the willingness to do something at a particular time. I'm going to talk about 5 points why motivation, if motivation is low, what it will lead to in every school or every organization. If there is a poor motivation, what will happen? I'm going to talk about 5 steps. The first step, lower productivity. There will be lower productivity in that business or organization because there is no motivation. Point number 2 is high turnover of staffs. Right, people will not be happy. There will not be any inspiration, so it will be high turnover. Then point number 3 is decreasing performance, no guidance, no targets. Right, that is point number 3. It will decrease the performance. People will not perform well because of lack of motivation. Then point number 4, lack of creativity, because people don't have confidence in that project, in that thing, so it will be lack of productivity. Sometimes, as we can see, if inspiration come when you are happy with the job you are doing or your team is very happy, then more productivity will come. People have inspiration to do or to create and other ideas, like in terms of marketing or in terms of academical or other aspects. So that is poor teamwork. Then point number 5, is less flexibility within the work frame. If your team, there is less flexibility, there is no understanding, there is no binding agreement, then that means it will not that team will not go successful. I'm going to talk about another point, talk about Maslow of hierarchy of needed, the hierarchy in life, right? I'm going to talk about 5 points because we are all aspiring to build up a team, but there are certain factors which will lead us to go down. So everybody have a hierarchy of jobs that you needed in life, and everybody have types of job that jobs give you motivation. My first point, I'm going to talk about 5 hierarchy. The first hierarchy, it's talk about self-actualization. That is people that have full potential. These people that have full potential, they seek a job that make them the most of our ability, right? Because they have potential. Then extreme, point number 2, extreme need. These are people, they look for achievements, recognitions and respect. That is the extreme needs. That is point number 2. Then these people knowing what you are doing and the worthwhile job and getting the praise from others. They feel, oh, I'm doing this job, so people always praise them. So that is point number 2, extreme. Then point number 3, it talk about love needs job, right? These people are looking for friendships. They are looking for friendship, they have to belong or accepting. They want people to accept them. So this hierarchy is a friendly and supportive. They are looking for supportive. That is point number 3. Then point number 4 talk about the safety needs. That safety needs. These are the people that are doing like peacekeeping job, security job, stability. Example, jobs like military, police, they all belong to this category. Then point number 5 talk about psychological needs. Psychological needs like hunger, thirsting, and sleeping. So in terms of doing this job, example, doing this job, they are very boring jobs. You don't enhance enough, you don't eat enough, then they don't pay you that much. All the money that you are working is to pay bills, right? Then I'm going to talk about expectancy theorems in motivation. Expectancy theorems, right? I have 4 points I'm going to explain in expectancy theorems. You have the first one, you talk about motivation. Then the second one is increase in effort, and the third one is increase in performance, and the fourth one is collective reward. All these things work together. Number 1, in motivation, this is a cycle. In motivation boosts your efforts. It boosts the efforts, which increase the performance. When you increase the performance, good performance, it will lead to good result and a good work, and you will receive reward. When you receive this reward from your boss or any area, this reward will also give you motivation, and when it gives you motivation, you keep on working hard. So this is talking about the expectation theory. When you are in certain organization, you doing certain job, your boss will always, how the boss will motivate people. It will motivate you by giving you reward because of your performance, and when you perform good, with this reward that they give you, it will keep you loyal to the company, and also it will help build your morale. Then I'm going to talk about rewards. That is rewards under motivation. Rewards, there are 2 types of reward. You have financial reward, they have non-financial reward. Reward is the motivation. Financial reward is like salary raising, then you have bonus or free gifts from your boss. Then number 2, non-financial reward is like they give you an extra day off or an extra holiday. What you need to know, not everybody like the same thing. So you as a leader, you as a supervisor, a team leader, or a management, you should try to know what your people want. Some people might not need reward, some people might need another thing. So you just have to assess, because if some people, you give them what they don't want they don't need, then at the end of the day, it will lead to failure. So it will not motivate them. But sometimes if you like promise somebody, okay, I'm going to give you this position, I'm going to reward you, but you have to give everybody reward at the same the same thing that you give everybody is the same reward you need to give everybody. There should not be any bias, right? Then I'm going to talk about motivating your team or management or staff. How are you going to motivate your teams? Ensure that I'm going to talk about 8 points how you can motivate your team or your staff. The first point, you have to ensure your team's relationship are positive, that people feel a sense of belongs, right? So among your team, you have to make sure that people, they feel that they are belongs to certain group. right? Then point number two, I'm going to point number two, you have to recognize the new performance by praising every individual, whole team for the work that they are doing. You have to appreciate them. Hey, you are doing a good job. You have to recognize every effort by telling them thank you, thank you. So by that way, all of them, they will be happy and put more effort in their job. Point number three, you have to involve the people in every decision that you are making. That means you have delegate responsibility to them. Then you should not have control over them totally. You should give them their own free will. So you have to allocate some responsibility to them. Then point number four, you have to encourage them, right? You hailing them people to achieve what they are capable of doing. You have to encourage them. Point number five, varieties is the speeds of life. Basically ensure a varieties at a work willing, meaning people do not get bored in that job. You have to provide for them every um opportunity that they needed so they will not feel bored in that job. Then point number six, job rotation. Give people the opportunity to complete different tasks and share out that task that they can enjoy. So you have to give them opportunity of rotating. Then point number seven, job enlargement. Expand, explaining or expand tasks that getting machine or operator involved, that you don't need to give them job that they are not supposed to do. So you have to bring maintenance or other things, like maybe in terms of their workplace their computer have issue or what, you should not put burden on them. You should have people that can do that job. Then point number eight, job enrichment. Reduce control over the work and making tasks for complex with adding individual or a team responsibility, right? That is point number eight. Then I'm going to talk about why something go wrong when you don't motivate people. What are the reasons why this job do not come out well? There is lots of mistake. I'm going to talk about 7 points why sometimes job come out wrongly because there is no motivation. Point number one, simply pay more. Simply pay more in not enough. You also need to appreciate their efforts. Then point number two, not setting a good example. You should always be good example towards your team and your team will follow your step. Then point number three, talk about forgetting everyone is different, right? Like you forget that everybody is different. You have to deal with every people according to their cultures, and you have to accept everything about them and give them, you have to have your rules and regulation. Then unfair, point number four, talk about unfair. In terms of reward, you have to reward all of them the same way. But if you give one person a opportunity than other, then it will lead to jealousy, right? That is point number four. Then point number five, making an incentive too complex for them to understand. When you have the project or your job or job description, you have to explain to them, let them understand that this is our responsibility. Then point number six, talking about reward, right? Rewarding the wrong things, right? You need to reward them what they're supposed to do in their performance. You have to reward them in that. You don't need to be biased. Some leaders or some supervisor or some leaders, they are very biased in their decision, right? So you have to be that liberal to everybody. Then point number seven, poor communication make it difficult for staff to deliver against a target. They need to understand your expectation. You have to bring orientation to people. You have to tell them that this is our time frame. You have to have your time frame, which time we are going to finish this job, what everybody job description, so at least people will work towards that time frame. Then I'm going to talk about how you can motivating your team. The same basic principle apply, right? How you can motivate your team. The same basic principle you should apply to everybody. I'm going to talk about 6 steps. The first step is a fear rate of pain will help meeting psychological and safety. That is number one. When you pay everybody what they're supposed to have without any bias, that one will not create any psychological trauma to people. So you have to pay them the way you're supposed to pay everybody. Right? Then point number two, strong team and interpersonal relationship will support the love needed, right? You have to have good relationship with them, with everybody in your team. When there is a good relationship, everybody will understand each other, and if there is any lapses, someone will come in front, hey, this is my problem, and you will render assistance towards that job because your aim is to make profits, right, in that job. Then point number three talk about good line management will also help self-esteem. When you have a good line management, any issues that your staffs they have the chains of command they will follow, and that of command will help them to solve their problem them. So that one is also will help. Then point number five, remember it is beneficial to emphasize the importance of their roles in the organization. They protect the company intellectual properties and assets by keeping them safe or business safe, right? You have to emphasize on their responsibility, not outside their content. Anything that you know that is not beneficial to your company, you put it, or if it's not inside your SOP, or if it is not your job description, they have to put it aside. Anything that will be beneficial to the company is what they should focus on. Then point number six, they talk about focus on building a strong team to help support personal motivation. You can help your team, you build a good team, you can motivate them, and also that one will the business help the business. So to conceptualize all this one, motivation, it can help in every areas of job or business or in government, in terms of appreciating your people, reward. You don't need to be biased, you need to motivate people, and you have to have orientation, because when you motivate your team, this will help in a long run, and people will be able to be productive. People were able to put on their best efforts for the achievement, because they know that if I do a good job at the end of the day, I will have reward, because people expectation is very important. That's why I explain about the expectation or expectancy theory. Expectancy theory talk about motivation, increase in effort, and increase in performance, and collect reward. When you collect reward, then you be strong, and you will be happy, and you will be motivated again to do more. So it's like a cycle. You motivate, then you increase the effort, then increase in performance, then collect reward. When you collect reward, you be happy, you do more job. So I'm going to stop here. In my next topic, I'm going to talk about another topic. Thank you very much. Subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos.